Good morning, everyone. My name is Jennifer Cauchi. I am from Aġenzija Żgħażagħ, and I would like to welcome you to the launch of the 6th edition of the Youth for Entrepreneurship Contest. This event is hosted by the Gozo Business Chamber in collaboration with us as Aġenzija Żgħażagħ, the Gozo Regional Development Authority, Bank of Valletta, J Malta Foundation, and Europe Direct. The aim of this webinar is to present this year's contest. We will be providing information about the team, about the training sessions that we will be giving, and of course, information about the contest itself. We will be hearing some testimonials from past participants of the contest, and we also have with us our guest speaker, Mr. Luke Said, who will give us an insight into this year's interesting theme. We are going to start off with our webinar. I would like to invite Mr. Jesmond Buttigieg, the manager at Europe Direct, to introduce the contest.
Good morning. First of all, I would like to thank you all for accepting our invitation for today's webinar. The main scope of this webinar is to launch the Youth for Entrepreneurship event for this year. In fact, this is the 6th edition of this event, which has become a very important annual event for us at Europe Direct Gozo. The European Union's youth strategy focuses on 3 core areas of action, that is, the need to engage, connect, and empower young people. In fact, the Youth for Entrepreneurship event is all about engaging, connecting, and empowering our youth to act, and why not, show their abilities and their skills. Each year, the European Union proposes a theme for that year, which is adopted by the European Parliament and the EU member states. The European year gives a clear signal to member states to address the subject of the specified theme for that year and thereon in the future policy-making exercises. 2022 was the European Year of Youth. Youth from all over Europe are engaged in different activities, meeting people, discovering new realities, improving their employment opportunities, and sharing their ideas and best practices. This year is dedicated to European Years of Skills. As you all know, shortage in skills in specified areas is a problem that is being felt throughout all the European countries. Shortage of skills is a problem that we must and can find ways to counteract. Therefore, we must find tangible solutions as soon as possible. In fact, the European Union helped and is helping people throughout the Union to acquire the right skills, resulting in quality jobs. It also helped enterprises over Europe to address the skills shortages. Job seekers and companies got access to multiple opportunities and funded companies directly or indirectly to mitigate as much as possible this problem and reach their goals. 2,000+ events were organized last year alone, with 190+ EU-led initiatives to counterbalance the skills shortage. Events focusing on small and medium enterprises, skills development in critical areas such as technology, supporting job transition, and the development of different talents were conducted throughout the whole year. Furthermore, the 2023 European Year of Skills addressed skills shortages by boosting the EU skills strategy, helping to reskill about 6 million people, with the main focus being on digital and green technology skills. Back to us. We at Europe Direct Gozo, together with the Gozo Business Chamber, Aġenzija Żgħażagħ, the Gozo Regional Development Authority, Bank of Valletta, and J Malta Foundation believe in promoting our youth and their abilities. This is why we are again organizing this event for the 6th consecutive time. Moreover, for us at Europe Direct, it is important that such an initiative is aligned with what the European Union is promoting. Having our future workforce with the required skills is essential for the sustainable growth and competitiveness of our islands, thus ensuring the future of our communities. Thank you for attending this webinar. We hope that you will find the insights that will be shared with us useful, and perhaps, why not, help you decide to pitch your business ideas. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jasmine. As you said, it's very important to promote young people and their abilities. Of course, there are lots of different projects and activities taking place around Europe and in Malta and Gozo, as you said, and it's important to address those different aspects. And I think that this has been a very fruitful collaboration between different stakeholders. As the National Youth Agency, we are proud to have had an integral part in this initiative. It is the fifth contest that Aġenzija Żgħażagħ is supporting. We highly believe in this project because it celebrates and promotes the active involvement of young people. And our collective efforts align with the National Youth Policy of Malta, which emphasizes the provision of services that enable young people to learn, to contribute to communities, and to engage with the wider society. Furthermore, we support programs that promote innovation and which address issues related to sustainable development. And the Youth for Entrepreneurship Contest is a great platform to achieve this and guides young minds in Malta and Gozo towards transformative opportunities, which hold great significance for our island. You young people possess boundless energy, creativity, and potential. Your success not only depends on your willingness to grow and achieve, but also on the opportunities and support system that we provide as a community and as a nation. It is our collective responsibility to create spaces where you can cultivate confidence, refine your skills, and translate your visionary ideas into actionable plans. By encouraging you to channel your creativity towards local needs, we leap forward towards creating a more sustainable Gozo. And this year, we are focusing on the critical challenge of waste reduction, which will undoubtedly lead to creative ideas that promote a cleaner and greener Gozo. To realize this vision, Aġenzija Żgħażagħ has committed to providing training sessions designed to equip the participants of the contest with the necessary skills and tools that they need to present effective ideas. There will be 2 training sessions, the first being held in the 24th of August and the second in 31st of August. The first session will immerse the participants in the theme of waste reduction. Through learning structured planning tools, young people will enhance their ability to create practical and well-organized business plans. Additionally, there will be training in presentation and pitching skills, which will empower the young people to effectively and confidently communicate their ideas to the panel and perhaps potential stakeholders and investors. This foundational session aims to instill confidence and competence into our young entrepreneurs. The second session then will be held in collaboration with J Malta Foundation. This is scheduled for the 31st of August and will mostly focus on the aspect of securing funding for the business idea. It is paramount that the young people understand diverse financing options which are available for any entrepreneurial endeavor. This training session will uncover any complexities, enabling participants to navigate funding opportunities with clarity and provide guidance on how to develop a business plan and ensure financial feasibility. Armed with the right tools and knowledge and opportunities, you young people hold the key to meaningful contributions that will reverberate throughout our community and even beyond. So let us continue to support your endeavors and celebrate your successes, which will surely contribute to a more sustainable future. Thank you, and it is now time to hear from the young people themselves. Present with us, we have 4 participants of the Youth for Entrepreneurship Contest. Thank you, Daniel and Lara, Eman and Martes, for accepting our invitation to share your experience. Daniel, I'm going to start with you, if you don't mind. You participated twice in the contest, and last year, together with your sister Lara, you even won the contest. My first question is, what motivated you to participate in the first place?
I saw the contest. I heard from it from my friends, and when I first saw it, I was never really the person to participate in these kind of things. I was very indoorsy. I wasn't getting out much, and I thought, why not go for it? It's a great opportunity to get to know more people. Even if I don't win, I can voice my ideas. I can say what I think and learn more about other ideas and projects for the future. And as I got more into it through the training sessions and through making the actual presentation, it really captures your mind on how many opportunities like this I've missed in the past. But because of this opportunity, it's opened so many new doors for me. I've gone abroad because of this project, and it's just a very good opportunity for young people of any background or any type of person.
Yes, and Lara, you participated last year with Daniel. What can you tell us about your experience?
First of all, it was a very positive experience. So I highly encourage anyone who is even thinking about it to just sign up now, because there's not anything that you'll be missing out from doing it. I mean, it gives you a boost of confidence to go on a stage and present your ideas that you were thinking about. It's not an easy thing. So you feel very accomplished by, having to publicly speak in front of others and present it in front of judges. It's scary, but it's amazing. Like, the feeling you get after is something indescribable. I highly encourage it. So it was an amazing experience, and you get a lot from it.
And can you, Lara or Daniel, tell us a bit about the idea that you presented?
Okay, so the theme was about youth spaces, and the idea that we chose was a youth study cafe. So it was going to be centered in Victoria, and there would be a study cafe where people could come and have a coffee or I don't know, a pastry, and at the same time can study and work on their assignments. Because something we noticed in our niche is that we don't exactly have a place for young people to study in Gozo. So we wanted a place where they could come, not only having to buy something on purpose, like they could just come and study, and the way that we could generate other profits was from, for example, a game room and from memberships. There was going to be some workshops so that young people could learn skills if they wanted to. We found it a good idea, so that was our idea.
Yes, it's important to know that every year we have a different team, and each team sort of tries to address a need or a challenge that we find in Gozo. Eman, I remember that you participated in 2021, and I remember that you had an idea that aimed to directly sort of address the need related to public transport. I don't know if you can tell us a bit about this idea that you had, where it came from.
Yeah, definitely. I think, firstly, this is definitely one of the spaces that young people should engage with. Why? Because it's a Gozitan space. It's a space where it's led by Gozitan organizations, led by Gozitan individuals with a Gozitan identity that are looking for Gozitan solutions. And I think that in itself is a very unique perspective that is often then not mentioned, that we are here speaking about a Gozitan reality. And the suggestion about public transport and about having a different alternative mode of public transport was my idea in 2021. It's already been 3 years. Unfortunately, since 2021, we saw a decrease of companies investing in alternative public transport. We saw a number of privately owned companies that are no longer operating. And that begs the question on spaces like this, like the Youth for Entrepreneur, for young people to creatively engage with what is sustainably in an economic way to operate. So it is a challenge. Alternative public transport methods are definitely a challenge in Gozo, but I am still a firm believer that the small size of Gozo should be as an advantage rather than a disadvantage. So I think that in itself is something that we should really tap into. And really and truly, the idea went into understanding how we can use what's around us, either if it's car sharing, either if it's any other modes of getting, for example, points because you're using car sharing and getting discounts because you are reducing your carbon footprint, in terms of using scooters, etc., etc. The idea behind it is not necessarily why we should use alternative modes of transport, but the benefit that Gozo will have. We are experiencing an increase of congestion in Gozo when it comes to cars, and I feel like now we are in a pinnacle space, in a crossroads where, yes, we can invest in alternative modes of transport, and Youth for Entrepreneurship gave that space for a conversation, gave the space for ideas to flourish, gave the space for young people to come up with different solutions. And these solutions, whether or not they win or not, they should, and I think it's a next step, they should be tabled as policy recommendations to legislators in order to be implemented. Because they're very strong ideas. Young people come up with strong ideas, and that is the crux of it, basically.
Yes, as you are saying, young people do have a lot of ideas, and this is what we try to achieve through this contest. It isn't just about having a contest, but we find that many young people, especially in Gozo, sort of hold back from participating and from making their voice heard. And as we are seeing from this contest, there are many good ideas that come up for the benefit of Gozo. Martes, you participated in 2020. You had a very interesting idea that you presented. Can you tell us a bit about the idea?
So, good morning, everyone, and thank you for inviting me. So, our idea, I was with Chris Marshwireb, and we represented the sezzjoni Żgħażagħ bħal-Mistitannat. And the idea was tiles that generate energy. So, through movement, that is kinetic energy, we would be generating sustainable energy, hence in order to mitigate climate change. Also, within these tiles, it was suggested to use some sort of small solar panels as well on the paving. This idea abroad is already in function, such as in airports. And also, I believe that locally in Malta, there is something similar. I don't know if it's in a playing field, but there is something similar. Hence, this would be generating energy, which is not very costly, and also we would be mitigating the climate change.
Yes, it was a very good idea. And I would like to ask you, Martes, on a personal level, this experience of participating in the Youth for Entrepreneurship contest, how did this help you?
Yes, so through this event, various key elements emerged, such as you need first and foremost to do the research. You would have the training on public speaking. And also, if you're in a group, like in my case, you need to work in a team. And all these elements, we use them in daily life, while we are studying, at work. Hence, it further boosts these elements, and you improve these elements by practice, right? So this is another opportunity to practice and also share our ideas. Also, youths, they are tomorrow's future, hence their ideas
are very important, yes. And as you said, we do try to sort of, in the training sessions, we try to address any difficulties that the young people may be having, both in the preparation and also during the contest itself. Lara and Daniel, I don't know if you can tell us maybe if you had any particular challenges while you are preparing for the contest. You worked together last year, or maybe even during the contest itself.
Well, as the others mentioned, a lot of young people go through quite a lot of ideas, and some ideas stick to you for years and years. And this like study cafe idea that we had, both Lara and I have been thinking about it, like, well, why hasn't it been done? Why hasn't it been put in Gozo yet? And so the challenge you face is if it's really a good idea. So you're always going through many lists of like, okay, is it profitable? Is it safe to actually do this project? Is it a good place to do it in Gozo, for example? And that's the main, I think, problem we had was, would it actually work? Would the profit be attainable, especially for the fact that we had an idea that people don't have to pay necessarily if they enter our building, and the costs and profit that we lose from them not paying and using our building would be covered by the advertisements. So it was a long journey of trying to find different ways how to fix these issues, but I would say it was a very fruitful journey, a very enjoyable journey. Like, it was a great way to figure out if, this project would actually work.
Yes.
To add on, despite the challenges that we faced, so for example, we didn't have a lot on financial literacy or on how to support this potential business, the fact that Aġenzija Żgħażagħ supported us in how we could gain this knowledge into our idea helped a lot. So we could overcome these challenges, we found out how to make profit from the business, for example. So every challenge was solved, thankfully.
Exactly, because when it comes to presenting a business idea, there are sort of a lot of areas that need to be seen to, that need to be addressed. And during the training sessions, we try to sort of tackle each issue to be able to support the participants. Aman, to sort of close off this part of the webinar, can you tell us a bit sort of how important it is that young people in Malta, but particularly in Gozo, participate in these kind of opportunities?
The very simple answer to that is very important, but why it's very important? In really and truly, this, let's call it non-formal education, because it is an educational experience, is what stays with you. I.e., we all start as young people, definitely Daniel, Marta, Lara, and other young Gozitans. We all start from different spaces in our life. We all have our different experiences. Mine is different than Daniel's, for example, but what is common is that we are willing to learn, and young people need to continue be willing to learn. We need to continue learning, we need to continue listening, and we need to engage in these spaces, because this is what we're going to carry with us in the future. It's great to have an A pluses, B pluses, whatever, but this is really Jesmond was talking about upskilling. This is our future. We need to continue upskill. We need to reskill ourselves, and if we don't do that, we're going to stay behind. That's reality. That's what we're facing. So these are the opportunities that are really giving us an advantage. in order for us to be able to continue our skilling process for the future. And in order that this is happening in Gozo, I think it's just amazing for me. So for all those young people who are listening, you're not going to lose anything. Whatever you're going to learn is going to stay with you. And I think that's something you're going to take. Something small you're going to take, and that's going to stay with you. So that's my perspective of this, basically.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Aman. Thank you all for sharing with us your experiences, Lara and Daniel, Aman and Martas. If I had to add something to this, it was a privilege for me, and I'm sure for all of us who were there, to be present for each of your presentations and listening to your inspiring ideas. So thank you once again for that. I now would like to invite Mr. Daniel Borg, the Chief Executive Officer of the Gozo Business Chamber and the mind behind this contest, to present this year's theme.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, just sharing my presentation. Okay. All right. Are you seeing the presentation? Well, thank you very much. So, thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Lara, Aman, and Martas for sharing your experiences about participating in the Youth for Entrepreneurship. And when we came out with this idea, it was quite challenging because it was not the normal thing that the chamber used to do. But now, seeing the results after now we are entering into the 6th edition, it really encourages us to continue to provide an effective platform for our youth, where they can really share their ideas, because sometimes we do provide platform for our youth, but they are not platforms where they can really speak out. But here we are giving them the space. I would like to thank especially Aġenzija Żgħażagħ, because our collaboration with them was a game changer for us in this edition, and we really look forward to continue to work together. I'm now going to present this year's theme, which will, following feedback received from the youth who participated in last year's session, this year's Youth for Entrepreneurship Gozo will treat the theme of waste reduction. And following some discussion on the name, because sometimes that is the discussion which really engages us all, we decided on the theme Waste Hackers, mobilizing young minds for waste reduction in Gozo. And today we are also introducing the logo for this year this event, which I really would like to thank Gianluca Gatt for developing this logo. We are thus inviting young people to present groundbreaking business ideas centered on waste reduction, which should contribute to a cleaner, greener, and more sustainable Gozo. To this end, youth are being encouraged to develop innovative solutions that address the island's unique challenges in waste management, recycling, and resource efficiency, and which, at the end, because economy and society are tied up, should foster a circular economy that benefits both the environment and the local community. So here I'm just going to give you some examples of what can be some business ideas. Creative recycling initiatives, which could be systems for efficiently collecting, sorting, processing waste materials to transform them into new valuable products. This could, for example, include upcycling workshops, community recycling centers, or partnerships. Why not, for example, with local artists to create goods from recycled materials. Advanced waste management technologies, where you can propose cutting-edge technologies that enhance waste collection, sorting, and recycling processes. Why not? Ideas might involve smart bins that optimize waste separation, AI-driven waste sorting facilities, or even mobile apps that incentivize recycling through rewards. These mobile apps through rewards, for example, were some solutions which were tied up to sustainable transport, and various youth have proposed also through past editions of the Youth for Entrepreneurship Gozo. Organic waste solution, where you can address food and organic waste by creating, for example, composting programs or bioenergy products. This can include, for example, composting sites, partnerships with local farms for organic waste utilization, or development of biodigesters that convert organic waste into renewable energy. Packaging innovations that reduce single-use plastic or promote biodegradable products or reusable materials. The ideas are endless. It could be edible packaging for food products, returnable containers for local businesses, e-waste management, create solutions for the collection and recycling of electronic waste. For example, establishing e-waste drop-off points, refurbishing old electronics for resale, or even safely extracting valuable materials from discarded devices. And other ideas could include sustainable tourism practices. We know how much Gozo is dependent on tourism, but we know also the negative impact that tourism can create on the environment, even, for example, from the day trippers that visit us daily. So you can see the challenges that Gozo is facing in the area of waste and address them. At the end, the idea should be to develop circular economy models, sharing, leasing, reusing, repairing, and also recycling existing materials. I have read in preparing for this topic about various solutions. We've seen tool libraries, clothing rental services, repair cafes. The ideas are endless. But what can I say? We are waiting for your ideas. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Daniel. I would now like to give the floor to Mr. Charles Micallef, youth worker from Aġenzija Żgħażagħ, to lead a discussion with our guest speaker.
Thank you, Jennifer. It's actually my pleasure now to welcome our guest speaker, Luke Side. I only met Luke personally last week, and almost immediately became very, very clear the passion that he has for safeguarding our environment. But apart from the passion, he also came across as very driven and very committed, which of course are very important ingredients for taking action and then obviously achieving results. Daniel has already given us quite a few ideas on what young people could be looking for, but I'd also like to invite Luke to give us some of his thoughts. And I say some because I know that if we let Luke start talking about this subject, we'll be here for a few hours, not just the 15 minutes that we have allocated. So some of your thoughts, Luke, on the theme of waste reduction in Gozo, and maybe some pointers on the key challenges that are facing our community, but also maybe potential opportunities for potential entrepreneurs in the future.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much, Charles, for that start. So I've prepared a quick presentation. I don't know if we can go through it and if I have access to share my screen. I think I don't. Share. I hope it's working. All good? Perfect. Okay. Mela, a quick idea of what of what I've been doing throughout the years, especially throughout these 4 years. During COVID, especially during the start of COVID, I got really frustrated about the environmental situation in Gozo. I'm a person who hates waiting, so I really took action of the situation at the start. So I started to lead a group, Nadir Nadif. It was created 3 years before I went into the organization. And throughout these last 3 to 4 years, we've collected approximately 2,500 bags, garbage bags, from the environment of mostly Gozo, Camino, and also a bit from Malta. I've also participated and been quite active in Delight El Wawdish. I've been in the media campaign until recently. I was also the environmental officer of S-Cubed. I don't know if you can see the photo on the top right. So our main initiative as a university organization was to give the students the chance to participate in a more sustainable way of life. And that brought us to the idea of thrift shops. So we used to create the largest thrift shop events on campus, at the university campus. We managed to organize 3 events during the 2 years that I served as the environmental officer of the Science Student Society. And we used to invite many different groups, these being youth who used to create the clothes themselves, thrift shops and actual shops, and also charity shops. And we tried to find the balance between these 3, but the result was always the same, to give the students, the youths, the chance to be more sustainable. From there, I also was the director of the environment for the National Youth Council for KNZ. I only managed to serve for 6 months because it was becoming too hectic to be in all organizations, but the chance is always there. So being this, so well done for the GBC and the Aġenzija Żgħażagħ and all the other sponsors and organizers for creating this. It is your chance from the youth to take action, so the opportunities are always there. The most difficult part is to take them to finally agree and say yes to participate. And finally, I've been the vice deputy chair of the NGO Audish for this last year. We've been quite active on the island of Gozo, from for Chambrea to illegal development, to development of the Z, and so on. So that's to give you an idea of what I've been doing. So I'm more of from the environmental aspect, and even I'm a geoscience and physics student. So finances and money is not mainly my thing. The idea, so introduction to the importance of waste reduction. So in today's world, waste reduction is crucial, not only for conserving our environment, but also for fostering a sustainable and circular economy. So that is the main point of what we're doing. I'll find a way to minimize the bar. So why waste reduction matters? So waste reduction is essential for minimizing our environmental footprint. So by reducing waste, we conserve natural resources, reduce pollution, and decrease greenhouse gases. This is the first step towards achieving sustainability, as it prevents waste generation at its source. Again, so we hear a lot about recycling, but why is waste reduction more important than recycling? So while recycling is important, waste reduction should always come first. Reducing waste means creating less waste in the first place, which is more efficient than managing waste after it's been created. Recycling helps, but it consumes energy and resources. So by focusing on reduction, we tackle the problem at its roots. A good example that's happening in Malta is the BCRS machine. So it is a very good initiative in order to limit plastic waste, but the main solution is not to create the plastic waste in the first place. When you put the bottle in the BCRS machine, it needs to be processed. That takes energy, that takes time. If a plastic bottle was never created, that energy could have been conserved. Now, environmental benefits for going for reduction. It conserves of conservation of resources. So reducing waste means less demand for raw materials, preserving forests, waters, and minerals. And others, it reduces pollution. Less waste produced, less waste production results in fewer pollutants entering our air, waste, and soil. Lower carbon footprints. So water reduction decreases the energy required for manufacturing, transportation, and processing materials. Now, why is it important to promote a circular economy? So a circular economy emphasizes keeping products into the system. A great example in the European Union is the process for metal recycling. The EU has one of the best systems in place. It nearly conserves about between 75 and 90% of different metals, thus reducing the need for further mining, which would emit more iron pyrides and other chemicals into the atmosphere and into the surrounding environment. Waste reduction is a key component of this model, ensuring that we maximize the value of our resources and minimize waste, especially now with a further growing in population. This approach supports sustainable economic growth and reduces environmental impacts. Now I give us a number of examples. I'm going to go through all the text. I hope that when it's recorded from all the participants, if they want, they can go through them. I try to keep it more stuff that could take place in the local environment in Gozo, especially from refurbishment of old dwellings, although it's expensive, thrift shops, metal recycling, electronic device repairs and upcycling. This is taking place in some stores in Malta. I'm not sure of any in Gozo, but I could be wrong. Compositing of organic waste, packaging free stores, reusable products, going for something like so, repair cafes. This is, I'm sure, it's taking place in Malta. Furniture upcycling, food waste recycling apps, bulk buying clubs, and even eco-friendly product lines. So to conclude, waste reduction is not just an environmental imperative, it's a pathway to a sustainable future. By prioritizing reduction over recycling, we conserve resources, protect our environment, and support a circular economy. Let's commit to reducing the waste in our daily lives and encourage others to do the same for a healthier planet. So thank you. I try to keep it short.
Thanks, Luke. Again, many different ideas. I'd like to invite the others present. Maybe there are some specific questions for Luke, but first I'd just like to ask a question myself. As a young person yourself, Luke, what do you believe are the main qualities young people need to have to really make a difference in our community?
Responsibility, if I can put it like so. We always had a solution. So, for example, I'm next, and in 2 weeks' time, I'll be 21. I still haven't gotten my driving license because I really want myself to leave the least impact on the environment. So I use the buses, I use the bikes. I always go to my destination for the university exams from the Nadur to Shokia. I go by bike, I come back by bike. I'm not doing any environmental harm. So it's responsibility to understand the issue at hand. I always used either a metal or glass bottle, water bottle, so in order to avoid using plastic bottle, and so on. It is the initiative you take, like to understand that every action you take has its own results. So if you go for a more harming solution, for example, buying new stuff instead of buying recycled stuff, you know the environmental degradation, the carbon footprint it carries with it. So if I can keep it short, that's it, responsibility of their actions.
Okay, and in fact, the examples you've given are really day-to-day things that everybody, not just young people, can. More in relation to this particular project, the Youth for Entrepreneurship, do you see there are some specific areas where young people could really play a part in relation to waste reduction from an entrepreneurship perspective?
So in Gozo, I think a big issue could be first, in all countries, being fast fashion. So if there could be something about clothing and so on to be recycled or reused, that would be beneficial. I know a number of stores in Gozo. I think one of them is Vogue Exchange. So they could be a good example of what they can be doing. Other type of waste, even bulk waste, I know it's being sent to WasteServe and then being recycled at the stores, but it's a resource which can be used, even e-waste. To my knowledge, there's a lack of e-waste bins in Gozo when compared to Malta, so that could be an investment which could be done. So we all have those drawers filled with e-waste, with old phones and old stuff and so on. If those could be reused in some form of way or recycled, that would always be beneficial. And something which is really harming the country. Another thing which could be done is the reduction of water usage. So that could be, and for a country of Malta, which already has very small resources of water, and most of our perched aquifers and sea level aquifers have been polluted by nitrates and seawater intrusion. ways to reduce the limit of water would be very beneficial. So any service which can be provided, if I can remember, of maybe TAP, they produce those filters. So any idea like so would be very beneficial to the small islands of Gozo in the middle of the Mediterranean.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Luke, for your thought. I don't know if there are any questions from other participants.
I was going to ask, what motivated you, or rather, what should motivate young people to support waste reduction?
So we only have one planet. There isn't planet B. So, and with a growing population from approaching, we surpassed 8 billion. The projections are that we go to 11 billion. The resources are what we are. So the carrying capacity of the Earth has truly been limited. It is. We have also over extracted of resources. So I think in the summer we always approach the limits of the resources which can be again created by the planet. So it is of our own interest. So taking even from an egoistic perspective, like we need to take care of the planet. So there could be two aspects. One, because you think it's the right thing to do. And the other thing, because if we're not going to take care of it, it's going to bite us at the end. So although maybe like, we have the temperature would increase by 1 to 2 degrees. It's not only that, an increase in temperature would result in further extreme weathers, which we have observed in Malta. So from further droughts, which has ruined our perched aquifers and means level aquifers and our agriculture, further storms, which we also have experienced, and recently in France and Switzerland, Britain was flooded a few months ago. So these are things which need to be considered and taken into consideration, not because we're just 3 small rocks in the Mediterranean, we all have our part. So it's a bit difficult to take it into consideration, but it's one planet. So as globalization has made distance shorter, we must understand that every action we take, each one of us will leave an impact. That's why I went into sciences. But we all can do our part. We all can do our part.
Exactly. Thank you very much. Thank you, Luke, for sharing with us your knowledge and expertise on the subject. We appreciate that it is not just a subject that you speak or study about, but it is inspiring to see how much you are dedicated, how much time you invest into truly making a change in our island.
Yeah, actually, it started the opposite way around. I was an activist before I went into science.
Then you were exactly. Thank you very much.
And good luck to all the participants. If you need anything or if you want to suggest any ideas, I would very much be willing to help. So.
Thank you very much, Luke.
Right.
I would now like to invite Mr. Daniel Borg to take the floor again to formally launch this year's edition of the Youth for Entrepreneurship Contest.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you very much. This year, it is something which I think we are continue to build on already the experiences that we had in the past, the experiences of youth, the experiences of Aġenzija Żgħażagħ, who are crucial partners for this event, because it's about youth and their experience, their insights are very important to us. So our goal is to empower young minds to develop and present innovative and sustainable business ideas that cater for the unique needs and potential of Gozo. So at the end, our this year's event will focus on waste reduction, inviting young entrepreneurs to promote groundbreaking ideas for managing and reducing waste in Gozo, as Luke already explained, and I would like to thank Luke for the very good insights that he has proposed. Our aim is to foster a cleaner, greener, and more sustainable environment, while the most important thing, building the confidence in young people to come out and don't be afraid to present their business ideas, while also aligning our entrepreneurial aspirations to what are means which can contribute to the common goal. But what are the criteria that we will be using? obviously the business ideas has to be applicable to the Gozo context. There needs to be financial sustainability. It has to be an innovative and sustainable approach, ability to solve a potential problem or to cater for a specific need, and most important of all, it's the quality of the pitch. So an idea, a pitch, will be judged according to the following criteria. These criteria will help to evaluate both the feasibility and the impact of your proposals. But who is eligible to apply? Obviously, you have to be aged between 16 to 35 years, residents of the Maltese Island, not necessarily Gozans, but residents of the Maltese Islands, focused on ideas strictly related to Gozo, and as Marta's highlighted in her presentation, they were a team, so teams are welcome, but ensure that all members are specified in the application. These broad eligibility, what is the aim? It aims to attract diverse and dynamic ideas. The CRO specified also further that, obviously, as I said, the notion of the group, but also previous participants and winners are welcome also to reapply. But note that due to event limitations and also to ensure a good quality event, a high quality event where youth can have adequate time to present their ideas, only the first 4 applicants will be accepted. So how to apply? Just submit your ideas by October 2024 via the provided link. Now, today, the event will go live on the Gozo Business Chamber website as well, so you will find everything there. Proposals must not exceed 500 words, and you'll be informed of your entry eligibility. And if initially ineligible, if you give us time, you can also resubmit the application. We believe that this process ensures both clarity and fairness in the selection process. So, what do you have to present on the day? During the event, you will have 10 minutes to pitch your idea using 10 slides, which would focus on the background and scope, the detailed presentation of your idea and implementation plan, budget, funding, and financing sources, and potential challenges and mitigation strategy. We believe that this format ensures comprehensive and clear presentations. So, the winner is not announced on the day. We will pitch your idea on the business on 15th of November. Together with Aġenzija Żgħażagħ, we always believe that it's in reality, it's not about the winning, but in participation, in having the courage to come out and pitch your idea. So we will be announcing the winners on the 25th of November via the Gozo Business Chamber's website and Facebook page. Prices are, as you can see, first place 500 euros, started last year also second place 200 euros and third place 800 euros. So, trying to be short, thank you. Those are our details where you can find us. Also feel free to reach Charles, Jennifer, myself. As we said, it will go live today. So, as I said before, we are waiting for your ideas. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Daniel. We will now conclude this webinar. For those who are interested to apply for the contest, as Daniel said, we will also be uploading a link on our pages, and especially for those who would like to register for the training sessions in preparation for this contest. We highly encourage participants to attend the training sessions because we are always providing new tools to enhance the skills And to repeat some important information that Daniel already mentioned, applicants who wish to participate without attending the training sessions can submit their ideas by not later than Friday, 18th October. All eligible participants will be able to present the business idea during the event on Friday, 15th November at 7 p.m. at Kempinski Hotel in St. Lawrence. We highly encourage young people to participate in this great opportunity. You also heard the experience of past participants, how beneficial it is to participate in this contest. You can also help by spreading the word with those who may be interested. And we remind you that places for this contest are very limited. If you have any questions or need any further information, you can contact Mr. Daniel Borg on danielborg@gozobusinesschamber.org or 79728628. Or you can contact myself on jennifer.cauchi@gov.mt or 99787-287. That is all from our end. I would like to thank Daniel, Lara, Emma, and Martas for sharing your experiences with us. Thank you, Luke, for giving us interesting insights into the team. Daniel Borg, Jasmine Buttigieg, and Charles Micallef, as well as Richard Gregg, our technical coordinator, who made this possible. Thank you, everyone, and I would like to wish you a nice day. Thank you.